vote in their own neighborhood. That's pretty deep.
I have a suggestion. Can I make one suggestion real quick?
1 second, Malcolm.
Okay.
Because you talk about, well, I don't know Trump's community service record or his previous public servant laws, but, that's the thing. People talk about her, and she has been a public servant quite a bit of her life. She's been voted in, of course. But the ones that are talking about her haven't even volunteered for a flag football team with the kids. So it's kind of interesting that people can criticize a person's life's work, whether you agree with her policies or whatever it is. You don't like the way she looks or she thinks she's, whatever it is. I don't understand. Like, how can you criticize someone? Well, you can, but why would you want to criticize someone and you've not done the work?
Yeah.
Not you in particular, no one here in particular, but it's just rhetorical.
Well, I want to recommend for those who have this newfound concern about black men going to jail. There's 50 state attorneys, and we all have a state attorney. We should now, or that person should now contact their own state attorney, who they're living under, to check their record on locking up black people. So if we're concerned about what she did in the state we don't live in, for those not in California, that she did 10 years ago, to my knowledge, 2014, it would seem like that same person would have a passion for 2024, 25 with the state where they're a legal voter, to make sure their state is not doing the egregious things that they're saying Sister Harris did. Because we live in the present, we don't live in the past. And so those are, the beautiful thing about just go on paper or email, whatever you want to call it. And you can write other state attorneys, because you're showing an interest in the state attorney of California if you're not from California. So I'm in Ohio. Write mines if you don't live in Ohio. Write Colorado's. Make sure state attorneys now are not locking up our people unfairly.
Malcolm, I think you're in the matrix, brother.
That's a concern of yours. And that's not facetious. I'm being serious, because it sounds contradictory.
Well, Malcolm, it's easy to say we live in the past. We don't live in the past, we live in the present. But it seems like whoever drinks that MAGA Kool-Aid loves to weaponize this woman's past. And whether it's factual or not, they don't give a shit. They're just going to spit it out there saying, she did this, she locked up 2 million people, when they have no facts to back that.
What's up, Ray?
How about we try Jake, Greg?
I know.
Put your glasses on, man. Who's that your PTR? Are you using your son's picture again?
God damn, boy. How you doing?
Man, any day I wake up is a great day. I got some incredible people on the stage. I can't even tell you how much I love Miss Madison. Because you may not agree with her, but she keeps it real.
They said they was getting ready to go get some sleep now that they have Jay back on the stage, the main man.
Dr. Cap.
No,
But I can rest well now, Jay, that I know
Yes.
you're here. I can actually go to sleep.
Right, I read the comments, but I just wanted to say I appreciate all of you all. We don't know each other. Some of us might meet in real life, but we could agree to disagree. And I really appreciate just the little that I've heard, and want to let you know that hopefully with all these conversations, somebody will be able to make a difference in the lives of somebody, even if it's family members or neighbors, etc. And if we won't take this knowledge or information or talk and just let it go in vain. That's all.
Yeah, listen, this was fun. Hi, Jay. Shauna was here. We didn't kill each other. It was wonderful with Madison, Rachel, and Hakima, but I don't think I ever heard from Dr. Jordan, but we've been here for hours, and it's just been a really awesome conversation. So,
Diane, I can guarantee Jordan's sleeping. He's out in California.
What'd you say?
I said Jordan's in California. I'm pretty sure he's sleeping.
That's where she is, but she's a night owl like me.
I'm in California too. I haven't stayed up this late in such a long time, but I would try to go to sleep, and then somebody would come and wake the hell up, like the whole room, and then like Rachel was saying, you know how like you can't go to sleep after that. Once you're engaged in the conversation, it's all downhill. I don't even think I'm gonna be able to go to sleep now, but I have to go try or at least go and get my date going. But this was really fun. Yeah, maybe we'll do it again sometime soon. Where's Roger? I haven't seen.
Roger got clipped. Kelly got clipped. They'll be back by this week.
For what?
What?
Why did they get clipped?
I signed an NDA. I can't really say, but they'll be back
Spill
this
it,
week.
Jay.
No
Spill it.
problem.
Nah, they just, listen, Roger stands on this square, and we're having a fun room. It was kind of in jest about how, because Kelly got clipped first, and we were like, Roger was like, well, why all the white women getting clipped at election time? And it was kind of in jest about, if you guys know Roger, he likes to play around, and he put it in the title, so they clipped him for that. Yeah, this is how screwed up they are, though.
Are you kidding me? They clipped him
No.
with the title?
Well, the
Yeah,
title.
for the title.
The title.
For the title.
What was
Yeah,
the title?
that.
White people only.
Why are white women getting clipped off the app? But Kelly, they let Kelly. I swear this is no exaggeration. I think Akima was there. They let Kelly back on literally for 2 minutes, and then they clipped her again, and she didn't even say anything other than "thank you." That's all she said. They clipped her again.
Well, one
Yeah,
person finally clipped her, and then the other person said no, and then the other person said yeah.
When you say they, Jay, who is they?
The clubhouse officials.
Okay, and so
Okay.
right, and so which means they listening right now to everything
100%
we
they
say.
are. 100% they are.
I always do that.
But not only that,
yeah.
someone could have reported the room in the room or something, and that was affected. So you just never know.
Yeah,
So
but
how
Jay-
is the title? Why? I mean, maybe I'm totally off though. But is Vincent? Did you want to jump in? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was there. Just quickly, and I saw everything Jay said was right. I don't know whether Roger went over this is something that I don't know. Whether it was just the title or whether Roger personally contacted Paul or anyone. I don't know. That's knowledge I don't know, but they were definitely listening into that room. And Kelly came back. She was there for 2 minutes. 2 minutes, everyone was celebrating, going, "Yeah, this is sick." Okay, great. And then she was clipped, and then Roger was clipped. So yeah, it's a weird situation.
Well, let me say this. I got lucky because Kelly and Roger are both my friends offline. We've cultivated a friendship. I really think that's what this app should be about. Jordan's a friend of mine offline, but Kimo is afraid to give me his number, which I understand. But we're friends, and I got to be honest. Listen, when somebody screws up, I'm the first one to point it out. I don't think they did anything wrong. But remember, we scream freedom of speech, but there's also terms of service on this app. You have to abide by terms of service, and it's very subjective. Yeah.
And I think they have appeals, but also Roger's on what's Chatter, so he can still speak.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're under threat now. Clubhouse more so than probably. I think Fanbase was a minor threat, but Chatter is a much more potent threat to the app. They've even responded by doing things that were very simple, like allowing DMs by text, which they should have done for a year.
Hey, Vincent, hold on 1 second, please. I apologize. Hey, City Boy, they are my friends, and I can guarantee you, and you're not going to believe me because of who I am, but they're the farthest thing from racist. The farthest thing from racist. Sorry, Vincent, go ahead.
City boys. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're not my personal friends offline, but I spent probably far too many hours listening to their rooms and listening to them speak, and I've never really heard Roger or Kelly say anything racist, and that's my perspective, and I'll stand on that. But yeah, I think Chatter is an imminent threat to Clubhouse, and I think Clubhouse has even responded with features. Whether Chatter will fail or succeed, I don't know, because tech companies or startups or even social audio apps generally have a low rate of success, but there is an alternative now. So I don't know. As you said, Jay, like there are terms of service, but when it's not uniformly applied, people might take their business elsewhere or their conversations.
Well, Vincent, eventually, let me just say this. So they asked me to join the house. They asked me to host room, be a leader in the house, and I was honored, honestly, because I like both of them. And when I joined this house, I had 28,000 followers in this house. I believe we're at almost 37,000. I've only been part of this house for maybe 4 or 5 months. So on a dynamic that doesn't have a lot of people, if you can grow your house by 5, 6, 7,000 people in such a short period of time, those are the content creators you want. They're not doxing anybody. Are we not allowed to argue with each other or disagree? It just doesn't make sense why you take two of the biggest influencers on this app off this app.
How long have they been gone? Is it a short period of time?
Well, Kelly's been, she was suspended. Then they let her back on. Literally, Rachel, no bullshit, 2 minutes, if that. And then they kicked her off again. So she's been gone for, I'm going to say 2 weeks. Roger's a couple of days. And Roger, let me tell you, from the conversations I've had with him, he likes chatter. He has no problem with moving this house over there. So, it's just sad. We really, free speech is no speech. That's what they want.
They said that you dated Jay so that you could have his room. That's what I heard.
Well, I'll tell you what, Greg. I said, no, I'm glad you brought that up because I run rooms every day in this house. But I said to both of them, I said in protest, I won't open any more rooms. And they both told me, don't do that. Continue to open your rooms.
But why haven't you guys migrated the whole community over there?
They own it. You know what? I believe. I'm just being honest. I know y'all gonna say this is a conspiracy theory, but I think they own Jerry and what's the boy name? Jonathan and not Boyd, but I mean, you know what I mean, the young man.
Wait a second, who owns them?
I think Clubhouse owned that whole thing too, because I think they phasing out Clubhouse and they phasing people.
That's not even remotely.
It's 8:20 in the morning.
On 2 platforms. I think it's great that some people don't want to go over there because maybe their phone, it's a whole new app. I mean, I like when it closes down over there earlier than I would like sometimes. So I like coming to Clubhouse because it's going to be open late, like we are now.
But wait, hold on. Gregory, hold on a second. Chat is still in beta. They've only released maybe 30% of their features. Trust me, when that app is a fully functioning app, this is going to be like, when the old Western movies, you see the tumbleweeds, that's going to be Clubhouse. So people are going to migrate over there once they really hear about it.
Yeah, if I go over there, I told myself that I would never just contribute again. I've done that humbly, but I would definitely bring the Chicago city, with all of the various different podcasters and people here that's not on neither one of these platforms. If I do it again, I'll definitely bring that energy in.
So Gregory, and Chatter would appreciate the Chicago community, but let me just say this. I'm not friends with Jonathan or Nelson. I am friends with Jerry, he's a good man, but none of them are owned by Clubhouse. Nelson, whatever people think about the man, took the initiative, came up with the idea, put it together, put his own money up to get that app off the ground. So I can personally guarantee you, Clubhouse doesn't want them to succeed. It doesn't own them.
Well, that's good. I fell out with them over that COVID stuff, but we talked a little bit because I thought with Copeland, Dr. Copeland, whatever his name, Copeland, they were just totally out of control with that crap. They were selling that mess.
There were people that didn't agree with Copeland.
Oh no, I know a lot of people didn't, but I had to go
Yeah.
to Hocus 4th room, your rooms that I moderated. But
You went to the rabbit hole. Huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I brought
love
Dr.
Hocus.
Ali. I brought,
I love
and let me tell you something. I brought Dr. Ali Muhammad when he beat up Fauci regarding that whole AIDS thing.
Oh, wait, Greg, did you see that Fauci has West Nile virus now? He's sick.
No, they said he's finally healing. Thank God. They thought he was gonna cross over.
Wow.
He's at home now, correct? Or
Yeah, they said that he's better.
was he traveling? I didn't read the article. Was he traveling, or do you know, Diana?
I don't know, but I have that.
I gotta read the
pinned.
article.
Hold on.
Rachel, sounds like it's gonna be a movie. Sounds like they're gonna make a movie soon.
I don't know. You know, I am not the conspiracy theorist, but
So I have a question for the people on stage. I was here with Jordan last night when we started the room, and went all night, obviously. What would you say was a greater percentage of people pro-Trump or pro-Kamala?
I think they're seems like pretty equal to me. We didn't really, everybody was keeping their ideas close to the vest, except some people, but I couldn't tell, and I wouldn't pay attention, but
How's your life?
I don't know. What do you think, Diana? Madison?
I think the interesting thing is not only did we have voices from both sides, we had the third party voices in here were pretty strong too. We had the whole conversation with regards to RFK and how he's still also saying that he could win should the election be contested. I will tell you that I think on the Trump side, if we were giving out trophies for the debate team, they would get a little more upset trophy, right? Like they were just a little madder. We had to throw them down a couple more times in the audience than, let's just say, the Harris or the Harris supporters, if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Makes sense to me.
MAGA people, I'm talking about hardcore MAGA. They don't back. They stand on their square, even if they know they're wrong. But we ran them yesterday. Is America ready for a woman president? And I'm like, hell yeah, let's get this woman in. They're like, we don't know her policies. Well, we're gonna find out before election day what her policies are. She's gonna do interviews. She's gonna do a debate. But I think a lot of men are intimidated by a strong woman.
Whoa.
But I'm not voting for her, but I love women. I would vote for her.
Do they know how many countries in the world have female leaders or have had?
Yeah, the U.S. is
Just know?
late on that. But it was it was a really civil discussion, Jay, for the most part, and it sounded like we were having more of a discussion than just people just trying to be right. We were actually exchanging ideas.
I love that. But let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this. And this is a fact that nobody's going to change my mind on. This woman, her entire career was about helping people. That's it. His career was about enriching and empowering himself. I don't know how people don't see that. And it's amazing to me. Let me tell you something, Madison. I love you like a fat kid loves cake. But the misogynistic view of Americans is so bizarre to me. It took, 240, 250 years old, our country? And all it's been is fuck-ups by men. Give women a chance. They raised us.
And what if it were your mother?
Masculinity mansion, huh?
Or your
Fucking
niece,
little bitch.
Yeah, that can't be your nephew.
What a stupid little bitch. Just vote for her because she's got a vagina.
I think that's a whole different conversation in terms of if it's about qualification. Women are amazingly qualified, and none of us. I know me personally. I wouldn't be on this line with you guys and would be talking and doing the things that I'm doing in life if it were not for women at all.
Well, Gregory,
That's all.
Gregory, let me tell you, it's just my opinion from hosting these rooms, right? I think America had such a bad taste in their mouth after Hillary Clinton lost. I hope that blowback doesn't fall on Ms. Harris. By the way, why don't we say Trump and not Miss Harris? Why don't we show her the grace we show him?
Show him the grace.
Hillary,
Show her the grace.
to me, she was horrible.
She did, but I'd also say, if you look at the Anglosphere, like, there is an issue with women getting elected. Like, in Australia, for example, there's been one female prime minister. In England, you had Thatcher, who was like Reagan-like in her dynamism. But then I think Liz Truss was, she wasn't elected, and she was in there for like 3 days, a couple of 30 days or whatever. And then before her, there was one other woman that's slipping my mind. I don't think Canada has that.
Vincent, you bring up England. The most powerful, influential leaders they've ever had were the.
Hi, DJ Pack. This is your handler and producer from the CIA. I just want to let you know we're releasing your Netflix film this upcoming week, so we're going to fly you out to Hollywood to be in the world premiere. We can't thank you enough for all your insanity, derangement, and absolute unmental health. You're totally whacked, but we love the pack, and we can't wait to send you your first royalty check. Congratulations, DJ Pack. Oh, you've been up all night doing coke and sucking dick? I understand. You're tired. No worries. We'll send you the check in the mail.
No, people don't talk about it. I do. I don't really give a shit. There's a misogynistic
Is the war in Ukraine based on misogyny?
She's pink with purple polka dots.
Polka dots! She's a big polka dot!
Yeah, she's actually more qualified than the ticket that's running now. Their combined experience, she's more qualified. And you spoke about England. Have served as presidents in Argentina, Brazil, Liberia, South Korea, the prime ministers in Canada, Denmark, Germany, the UK. So,
But Miss
we are
Madison,
late when it
Miss
comes to
Madison,
that.
Miss Madison, let me ask you, why do you think that is in America more than any other country? Misogynistic, racist.
Yeah, you already said it, Jay. And the thing about it is that we don't have any problem, and we haven't for the last, with the exception of 46 presidents voting for white men over and over again. Some that have done okay jobs, some that have done horrible jobs. None to me, really did a great job overall. And we have no problem with that. Every 4 years, it's the same thing.
Not only has a woman not been elected, Biden is only the second non-Protestant, besides JFK and Biden. The two Catholics. Everyone else has been a Protestant.
You know what? And I think the nature of women will be so much different in terms of that energy of people starving and people suffering. I think women have a divine nature to the degree where, like with children, etc., they care more. They care different. They care more spiritual. They fair, etc. To me, I wouldn't say all, but the majority of the women that's been in my life, they just different when it comes to peace. They different when it comes to order. And I think the world would be better. I think even when it comes to Wall Street, when it comes to the wealth gap, when it comes to even these manufactured wars, I think the woman, but we do know that if she's in office, is she gonna be like, to me, Barack Obama didn't run anything. He was a manager and a great speaker, but are they managers? So I don't think we should fool ourselves to think that they calling the shots anyway.
Well, Gregory,
So
Gregory, let me
who
just
they
say
surround
this.
themselves?
Gregory, let me just say this real quick. A lot of people like to bring up her prosecutorial record, right?
Her prosecutorial
Whatever
misconduct?
the number is, 1,700, 1,800 men were incarcerated. That's a falsehood. She created a diversion program so they didn't have to go to state prison. So I think 95% of those people that were arrested and prosecuted went into the diversion program, didn't go to state prison. But people don't talk about that. They just want to say they got arrested. Well, what were they doing to put themselves in that position?
Yeah, they got arrested up to 45, went to the state prison, and in the Back on Track program, it had such a successful rate that program is used all over the country now.
Yeah, I think.
But you see, Greg, but Greg, nobody talks about what Miss Madison just dropped a gem.
A gem.
Talk about that. They'll talk about her prosecuting these people, but they won't talk about how it got adjudicated.
Well, Jay, this is one of the things that when you asked what has taken place in the last few hours that we've been hosting, that has been a pattern. So we heard somebody, while you were on the stage, say that there were 2 million people who she had incarcerated. And one of the things that we talked about was, you know, like the misinformation, censorship, how one of the reasons that I think it's been really smart for Kamala to not do interviews is because of all of, I don't know if you guys have seen the types of AI videos and clips and just the way they twist her
People are
words
so
and
fucking
campaign
whack.
against her. It's awful to me. And you know, I am for free speech, but I gotta tell you, this election really makes me wonder if we're having to face, like what Gavin Newsom told Elon, that if he continues to do that, he's ready to file a lawsuit against him. And the way that technology is being utilized, I mean, the Republicans are saying that the election was stolen because of tech. I honestly think that this is a horrible way to run a campaign, and making her see, like they did a campaign where, to somebody who's not really paying attention, it really could mess with the way that they are processing things and obtaining information and repeating the information. And it didn't matter tonight that we would pin articles, quote people, nothing. It's almost as if it just doesn't matter. And that's where we talk amongst ourselves sometimes and say, okay, well, we do have to, especially as the election gets closer, pick and choose where it is that we spend our time literally campaigning, right? If this is going to be important for us. So I just wanted to share that piece of information with you.
Well, it's confirmation bias. I mean, people have to learn how to think for themselves. I mean, they did that with the vaccine, right? They were looking up information left and right. But if it's something that they want to believe, they don't even take the time to do it.
And to your point, Madison, we've been reading, and you have to read. You can't repeat, or I heard. You cannot heard your way out of this life. I mean, you can, but you'll be misinformed, ill-informed, and disinformed. It's just not possible if something is important. If whatever's important to you, you'll look for it. But if you're going to repeat what someone said, you have to consider the source.
Yeah, and then even some of the things you read is a source. It doesn't mean that, I mean, it carries a prejudice. It carries, its own narrative, so because we read, and there's just some stuff that is they book, and they research. So I think for me, I deal with the reading part, thank God, but then I also deal with how I feel. And I go by that. And I mean, for me, I'm not a fan of hers, just based on what I've picked up, and then the people that's around her. So that have turned me off greatly.
Let me say this, Greg. I just got to read you. Trump is so desperate that he used AI, speaking of the subject, to generate an AI picture of Taylor Swift endorsing him, which she hasn't. But he knows she carries a lot of sway. She's a public figure. She's an influencer. The Swifties, they're loyal to that woman. And she had to come out and disown that picture, say, wait a second, I didn't endorse this dude. But let me say good morning to the librarian. What's up, librarian? How you doing, my friend?
What's up, bro? Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, Taylor Swift has so much pull that any brand or anybody that she endorsed, that's one of the most powerful endorsements you can have in music at this moment. So I can see why somebody would want to fraudulent that endorsement.
Not just music and like culture. It's